Welcome to the channel, viewers. You're with Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, biologist from Gosford, the Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Just want to speak quickly to you about loyalty. And there's two aspects to it. There's the emotional aspect and the physical aspect. Now, usually when people come undone and they have an affair, an emotional affair or a physical affair, it starts off in the emotional realm. But it starts off in the emotional realm inside the relationship, inside the mind of yourself or the person that you're with. And it'll start with a conflict, some kind of conflict. Now, you might not even be aware of the conflict that's going on in your partner's mind. Depends on how transparent they are and how honest they are with you. Okay, this all comes down to honesty, fairness, rightness, value. You might not even know there's something wrong in the mind of your partner. And all of a sudden, there's no resolve. You can't resolve something that somebody doesn't tell you they're having a problem with, right? And a lot of these people will say to you, possibly, that I can't speak to you because you get that. A lot of that is insecurity. They don't want to bring to light what the problem is, for whatever the reason is. And this leaves us back where? Back in the dark. We're back in the dark. And that ain't going to fix nothing. When people are hiding in the shadows, that ain't going to fix nothing. If the matter's been brought to the light and there's unresolved, somebody's hiding in the shadows. You've got to understand this. That's how evil works. Evil will work away at you from the shadows. And this is what you've got to understand. If something's been brought into the light and that person's not willing to work with it, they're hiding in the shadows. They're hiding in the dark. They don't want to come into the light. They're happy just to stay in the dark, in the shadows, and hide. Now that's what that does. What that does is sabotage any opportunity for resolve. Because resolve has to bring things into the light, into the realm of truth and spirit. And resolve will only go as far as a person's value towards the rectification of the problem. So if somebody's not resolving something, they haven't got the value for the relationship in such a way in which they want to bring resolve. They're prepared to risk the relationship, losing the relationship, through unresolved. And they're hiding in the shadows and they're hoping that you are going to tolerate that. Now, people who do this have done it before. They've done it before, they've probably lost their relationship before, and they're happy to do it again. And that's why you need to know people before you get too involved. Because as soon as there's a drama or an issue, that's going to bring a problem to the relationship. And if that person's somebody that hides in the shadows and you're trying to get things out in the light. And I've tried this. I've tried to apply tolerance to it. I lasted about 9 or 10 months and I was completely mind-fucked by the end of it. And when there was a possibility of resolve, the idea of resolve was so absurd, I don't even think it was genuine. Couldn't have been. It was so absurd. And that was the end. I just said, no, I can't proceed any further. And what Unresolved shows you is that the person's not going to fight. They're not going to fight for the relationship. They're not going to fight for what you have. They're going to let it dissolve by Unresolved. See, Unresolved is the beginning of the relationship's dissolve. I know that's hard, but that's just how it is. Unresolved is the beginning of dissolve. So if you're in a relationship now and you're dealing with matters of unresolved, you're in a very dangerous place, because your relationship's dissolving, your mental health is dissolving. You might not sense it, but believe me, it is. The person that you're with isn't in a good place. They're not functioning in a mature adult way. Obviously, they got values that are more important than the relationship, and that's up to them. But if they're sacrificing the relationship for dysfunction, walk away. Pack your bags or pack their bags before the damage gets too deep, because it'll deepen. The trauma will deepen. And say, look, thank you for the time together, but get your shit and fuck off. I'm not playing these immature games. It could be triangulation, it could be lying, it could be substance abuse, drugs, whatever, alcohol. It could be all of the above, depending on how degenerated the person's come under the pressure of needing to resolve. See, resolve puts a lot of pressure on people, and if they don't want to do it, they'll just dissolve, because everything's eroding around them anyway. So if somebody you are with is not fixing their problem, could even be a family member. I've seen this twice, 3 times. Pack your bags or pack their bags and walk away. The best thing you can do for yourself and them is to simply just walk away. This is Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison in the sports car. We're just doing some sports car driving, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.